What's up guys, how you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome back to a new episode of TOTS vs Sweat. Now I released the first episode of this little mini-series a few days ago and we did the BPL TOTS vs Sweat. If you missed it, there is a card in the top right corner you guys can click and watch it. It went down really well. I really appreciate your feedback. You guys seem to like the little mini-series. It's one of my more popular ones year on year, so I'm very excited to bring you a new episode today. And as you can tell, we're going to be going with Argentina. So the goalkeeper is not something I compare to another goalkeeper because there is only one goalkeeper. I know a few people have said maybe play one goalie for one half and then another goalie for the next half. Maybe I could do that in the future. Let me know if you think that's a good idea down below in the comments section. But here is our first TOTS versus Sweat battle. It is between the sweaty left back Vangioni and the TOTS right back Buffarini, who looks to be incredible, by the way. Next up, we have got our centre-backs. Now, at centre-back, we've got Pinola as our TOTS, and our Sweat player is Otamendi, who I guess is a high enough rated player that you wouldn't class him as a sweaty one. However, whenever I come up against BPL Sweat, he is one of the main players in defence in the BPL squad. Moving on to our CDMs, we've got Pizarro as a CDM. He's actually a first owner player. And then Enzo Perez, who's a lower rated gold, really good stats across the board. And he's the sort of player that's in like the La Liga Sweat teams, or the Argentine ones, I guess, but you don't come up against them too often. Next up, we move on to the cam positions, where I have got for you Sosa as our team of the season, and then Di Maria as our cam in the Sweat side of things. He actually doesn't come out of packs like that anymore. He's a right winger, of course, but he is still one of the pacey players with the skill moves and all of that good stuff. And then in the striking positions, we have got Funes Mori, who's our team of the season, and we've got Paulo Dybala, however you want to say his name. Funes Mori is someone that I packed. I bought this one because I sold the other one, but he looks to be quite good. And then Dybala is he's just always in the strike force of the Serie A Sweat teams that I come up against. So he fits into the team quite well there. He's not someone I typically do very well with when I use him every single time, and I've tried it multiple times. I just don't think I get along with his playstyle in-game. I don't know what it is, but this time, I guess I got used to him a little bit more than other times. I tried to utilize his dribbling techniques, which is, of course, a massive part of his game. And we'll talk about, like, from the attacking midfielders upwards. So we'll talk about the attacking midfielders and the strikers, basically. Di Maria is an absolutely phenomenal player on this game. He is so quick, and if you want to use him in a sweaty way, you don't utilize the 4-star skill moves. What you do is you do that pacey run where you just change direction at that sort of angle, and you just keep holding sprint the entire time. And he can be one of the craziest players running at your defense that you'll ever come up against. Sosa, on the other hand, the cam, his stats look amazing, but I was so let down by, like, everything about him was just a little bit lame, which I'm very disappointed about because I had high hopes for him. That's the second time I've now used him and found him to be a little bit lackluster. And then our strike force, well, you can see us scoring plenty of goals here. Dybala actually got quite a few goals, which is good. And then this Funes Mori guy, well, I don't know what it was, but I was scoring header after header with this dude. That's not normally my play style. I guess the people I was coming up against were either like pushing me out wide or something, but I was having to resort to whipping the ball into the box. And Di Maria's like crossing ability is phenomenal. And then this Funes Mori guy, just, oh my god. He rises like a salmon, like in this goal right here, and has the craziest power header I think I've ever seen. He must have some decent in-game stats for that, I guess. Look at this, by the way. Like, goalie's running at me. Like, I try and chip him. It's going wide of the post. Don't know why he heads it back into my path, but Funes Mori's there to tuck that one into the back of the net. And that is the final clip for the goals part of this video. We need to rate these guys now. So, in terms of the goalkeeper, I don't like him. I really dislike all Argentine goalkeepers. They don't seem to have a good one. And this would be the best one out of the lot, the 80 rated orange Caballero, and he's absolutely naff. So whilst we're on the goalkeeping subject, make sure you let me know down below if you think I should maybe change at half time so we can rate a Sweat goalkeeper versus a TOTS or maybe a different type of goalie. I'm not 100% sure. But in the battle of right back and left back, Buffarini comes out on top. TOTS Buffarini is absolutely ridiculously good, rapid, and has stats across the board which are fantastic. Otamendi is better than Pinola, I would have to say. I just think he's obviously like 10 ratings higher, and he does perform that way. He's a very, very good one. So 1 for TOTS, 1 for Sweat. We're currently at 1-1. In the CDM spot, they both were kind of a little bit meh. But I would have to give it to Enzo Perez, I think, on that basis, because you don't really notice either of them. So Sweat is now 2-1 up. In terms of Cam, like I said it during the clips part of the video, I really rate Di Maria, don't like Sosa. So Sweat at the moment is running away with things. It's 3-1. So even Dybala, even Funes Mori can't make this a result for the team in the season. And actually, I do think Funes Mori is better than Dybala. He's more of my play style, and I scored more goals with him and stuff like that. So he brings 1 back for the TOTS. But unfortunately, I think this week, Sweat beats TOTS 3-2, which is a little bit odd. That sometimes happens, I guess, but then other times you get these TOTS players and they're just so much better that I prefer it if TOTS would win, because they cost me more, and you kind of expect a better end product from them. However, I would recommend a couple of the TOTS players scattered around in your Argentine side. However, what I would recommend is that you bring in people like Tevez, Aguero, all of that stuff where you can, and then maybe have the odd like Buffarini at right back and that sort of thing. But I hope you've enjoyed today's TOTS versus Sweat. If you have, make sure you smash a like on the video. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. Thanks for watching. Click on the cards in the top right corner and watch another episode, and I'll catch you next time, guys. Peace.